Hi everyone, and welcome to the Aquarius August 2022 Illumination reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot, a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own personal spiritual importance. And what does that mean? That means that in today's reading, we're going to be taking a look at a challenge that Spirit is asking you to face and overcome to better help you engage with your unique spirit, that part of yourself that rises up to meet the challenges when we are presented with them. And this is so that you can better unlock your own heroic capabilities, so that you can better see your path, your purpose, and get closer to those feelings of emotional fulfillment that come when we see where we fit, when we see where our strengths and abilities can help the greater collective experience. All right, so Aquarius, I'm pulling out your cards right now. We're going to start by taking a look at your internal energy, what you are bringing to the month of August. We're going to look at what's going on in your external environment, and then the challenge that you're facing and any blocks that are coming up around overcoming it. So let's go ahead here. So we have the Star and the Ace of Pentacles coming up as your internal energy. And that's beautiful for you, Aquarius, because actually the Star card here in the tarot does represent Aquarian energy. So you are really tapping into what I would call your own superpower, that ability to kind of go up into the ether, to find those ideas that are unique to you and really bring them into a place of almost like grounding them through your emotions into some practical opportunity here, which is the Ace of Pentacles. There's a feeling here of really taking something that you're connecting with up there, a dream, a need that wants to be fulfilled, and bringing it into a place where you're turning it into a seed of opportunity, which is actually very beautiful. So let's see what's going on with your external environment. What's going on around you in the month of August? Ooh, that's a little bit too much there. I'm going to take this one. I'm going to see if anything else wants to come out with that. I did see the Devil and the Eight of Pentacles. There might be a little bit of a feeling for you this month of having to kind of put your head down and work towards something in a practical way, while also freeing yourself from something that's been holding you back. But the Knight of Swords is a card of quick communication. It's sharing your truth in a very, I'd say, blunt way. So there's something here around the environment, that there's something around communication. Okay, so we have the Eight of Cups. Interesting. So for some of you, there may be a communication as to what you're walking away from. Let's see. And so we have the bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Swords with the Moon and the Ace of Wands underneath. Interesting. Okay, so again, what you're coming into the month with is really this connection to a dream, a deep need for yourself that you would love to have fulfilled, something that is a guiding principle, but it's part of yourself that you're kind of connecting to your higher self, connecting to spirit. That is, in a way, I always like to say that Aquarius has this beautiful talent of kind of going up into the upper realms and pulling down ideas and innovations and thoughts that have not yet been. And you guys have a unique gift and sometimes a unique challenge to bring those ideas that you can kind of tap into up there and bring them down and try to manifest them in the physical, which again can be hard when others don't see that vision. They don't understand what you're trying to bring about. But in your external environment, we have this communication around what is no longer fulfilling. Walking away from something that is no longer a part of what you want to continue to put emotional investment into, and being able to really speak to that. And for some of you, this may be a decision. This may be as you are solidifying this new seed, this opportunity, something that is kind of this dream for yourself. You're realizing, I can't do something anymore. And the environment is conducive to that. The environment is conducive. And this could even be, for some of you, because this is external to yourself, this could even be somebody in your environment communicating this to you that is somehow bringing about the ability to help you transcend, to move on from someplace, I think, where you may have been stuck for a while. So why am I saying that? Because the Six of Swords is a card for me. This is actually one of my favorite cards in the tarot. It really speaks to that beautiful element of transcendence, of transcending our physical limitations by first changing our mental perception of our current experience. What does that mean? That means that we have this ability to not only maybe look back at the past and see it from a different perspective, that we can see how far we've come. We can possibly see lessons learned where maybe at one point we had kind of been stuck in a place in the past and kind of reliving it. And now we get the chance to move on from those kind of choppy waters and change our perception of, well, wait a second. If I see this as a lesson learned, I can then kind of make peace with it and move on towards calmer waters on a mental level, see where I am clearly, and be able to understand that something that I maybe have been challenged with moving on from, I now can do so on a mental space. And that allows you then to take a look at your current physical limitations and realize, wow, I also can transcend these as well, because now I'm a stronger person mentally. I'm more at peace in a mental space. With the Ace of Wands and the Moon coming up, for some of you, you have had this kind of reconnection to an inspiration, to an idea, to something that's been kind of lying dormant with you. And I love that you have the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. There's almost something here about like the bippity boppity boop from Sleeping Beauty, about kind of using this inspiration, this magic wand, this passion to grow a seed into maybe a giant beanstalk, something along those lines. But with the moon coming in, there's this element of a lack of clarity of what am I going to do with this inspiration? I have it. I've been given my magic wand again, but how am I supposed to use this? What is this really, what was this really for? And as you are kind of playing with this magic element in the unknown, there's an element of being able to realize maybe perhaps where you have been holding yourself back, something in your experience that maybe had prevented you from kind of maybe taking action on this inspiration, or maybe the fear of the unknown, or just not being able to see the way clearly. Suddenly you're like, no, I'm starting to see the way clearly. My perception of things are starting to clear, and I'm moving on. And that's where you're going to, I think, see how you can tie these two together, the passion and the magic and the inspiration and the idea with a tangible opportunity. And again, this could be brought on by the fact that something is happening in your external environment where somebody is sharing something with you that is around having to walk away from something. So this could be, for instance, somebody is saying, it's time, maybe this is your significant other, and this person is saying, it's time for us to move into that bigger house, or it's time for us to kind of level up and move towards getting married or having children or something like that, where I can't live in this one bedroom apartment anymore. It's time for me to move on from that. And this is saying, I've been sitting with the dream of the home and the family and all of that. And I've been sitting with this kind of inspiration of I need to put my creative effort into something. And suddenly now you're tying it all together and saying, you know what? Yeah, this is the opportunity now. This is the opportunity to invest in my future. And I realize that I can do so by leveling up with my partner, who is expressing to me that it's time to move into a larger home. Or this can be where maybe you're getting the communication that, it's time to move on from a job, or it's time to, or maybe there's just something around what you are realizing for yourself and the opportunity. You're realizing it's time to walk away from something you've been working on long term. This could be maybe you have defined yourself in a specific career field and you're realizing, I've had this inspiration for a while. I'm starting to see now what I can do with that. And an opportunity is presenting itself. And I have to make that hard choice to leave a career path I've been in for 15 years. And maybe this is making that announcement. Maybe this is making that announcement to your boss, to your significant other, to a friend even, just to say, I'm not doing it this way anymore. But it's a beautiful energy. It's an energy of really, I think, harnessing something within yourself, and that's giving you the courage to be able to finally emotionally walk away from something and to speak to that, or to allow somebody in your own life to speak to that. That's kind of allowing this seed to come into being. Because a lot of times, opportunity doesn't just come in a vacuum, meaning that we don't just create the opportunity. A lot of times it comes through someone else. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to see what is the block that you're experiencing. We're going to dive a little deeper here into the challenge itself and advice from Spirit on how to overcome it. So let's see, what does Aquarius need to know? But what's the block here from really taking this dream and this potential energy, the seed and the inspiration, into an environment where, you probably are going to have to walk away from something, or where something is changing that's, again, that someone else is expressing their need to walk away from something, and that in turn is presenting you with an opportunity for the new. Okay. Let's see here. Man, your cards are really not wanting to come out today. Let's see, Aquarius. Okay, there we go. All right, so we have Five of Wands. We have Temperance. Okay. And the Five of Wands is coming out in your main challenge position, and that might be kind of why you are not wanting to jump right in there. The Five of Wands can be kind of in the energy of chaos. It can be a lot of cooks in the kitchen. It can also be one where we have to go out there and kind of see what we're capable of, bringing our wand to the party. It's bringing your inspiration into a place where there's many other people using maybe a similar inspiration. And that can be a little challenging. It can be a little daunting. I always for some reason, every time that card comes up, I always imagine somebody playing, the jump rope game Double Dutch, and kind of waiting for their chance to jump in, and that there might be somebody else who jumps in with them, and it's kind of one of those things of do I want to do it? Do I not? Do I want to do it? Do I not? And it can be scary. It can be scary to get out there and have to really kind of flex your muscles, share your inspiration, and share it from a place, with the moon coming in here, I think for a long time, there was such a lack of, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know what's going to happen if I follow this. Just that kind of having to act on faith for so long that you might have gotten to that place of I don't know. I'm scared. I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know if I want to express this. I don't know if I want to leave this or go towards that. And now there's this element of kind of moving on from that. This is Six of Swords, of really kind of getting to the serene place of peace within your own mental space. Ooh, I love it. We have the Wheel of Fortune and the Ace of Cups. Okay. This is a really awesome spread here for you guys. So Temperance coming up on the other side of Five of Wands. This is that energy of moderation. It's, for me, actually a card that speaks to the freedom we can experience through the acceptance of change. And what do I mean by that? Well, the number 14 to me always represents that energy. That's the number that this card harnesses in the tarot. It speaks to the number 14 breaks down to the number 5, but there's an element of building a strong foundation based on the I, the 1. There's the 1 and the 4, and together they create change. It's building a new foundation from what I always like to say is a divine timing of rediscovering some part of yourself, some part of your I am. And you're tempering that with how you take action and based on also how you feel. So I know that it may seem a little kind of unclear, as esoteric as I'm saying it like that. But what I mean by that is, it's a card, obviously, temperance. You're tempering something. You're bringing two things together, kind of like tempering, let's say, if for those of you who cook, let's say you're trying to temper eggs and you don't want to overcook the yolk. So you take, warm milk or cream or whatever you're working with, and you pour that very slowly into the eggs when you're baking with something. And it gets to the point where it kind of warms everything up, but it doesn't actually overcook the yolk so that the eggs break and there's a scrambling element. You're instead just kind of bringing everything up to a certain temperature. And I look at that as you're allowing your emotions and your actions to come together to be tempered into something that is long-standing, like long-term sustainable. So that you're not like overcooking yourself. The passion doesn't come up and like burn you or somebody else, or that the emotions don't bubble up and drown the fire. There's a beautiful tempering that comes in there. And with the Wheel of Fortune coming in the middle of this is what Spirit is asking you to embrace. The Wheel of Fortune is one when the energy is now turning in our favor. And it might not be that, oh my gosh, overnight, all of the beautiful, wonderful fortune that we want to have happen for ourselves comes and lands in our lap. It's that this is a gradual turning of the wheel, and it's like the energy flow is moving. We can jump in and we can let the current just take us to where we need to be, and we are swimming with the current, or we can hold back and cling to the shore and say, I don't know. Things have been so unclear for so long. I don't know. But with the 6 of Swords coming in, it's saying, I think you've already built a mental boat for yourself. You've already built that place of like, okay, I see what's been coming. I've been preparing myself mentally. And now it's time for me to take my emotions and my passion and temper them into a place where I can now get into the boat that I've been kind of mentally making for myself and make use of this energy. Because if you can do that, if you can brave a little bit of this, the chaos right off the bat of getting out there and kind of jumping into the mix, it's going to allow you to really it's almost like practice makes perfect. That's what I'm hearing here a lot, which is interesting. It's like the more you do something, the more you're going to kind of temper it. It's like the more of that warm cream you're pouring into the egg mixture, the more you're bringing everything up to where it needs to be, to that sustainable place. And this is almost like heating. the 5 of Wands is like heating that up, heating the cream up to the right temperature, getting yourself kind of warmed up again. And then we get to jump into the flow. And on the other side of that, this is beautiful. We have the Ace of Cups. This is a reconnection to love. This could even be for some of you meeting somebody and having that beautiful new connection of love. But what I like is that you have the Ace of Wands, you have the Ace of Pentacles, and you have the Ace of Cups. This is new. A fresh start on every level, on an emotional level, on a physical level, on a passionate level. The only thing we don't have here is the Ace of Swords, which is clarity. And so I think for some of you, there's this element of maybe feeling like I want to wait for that clarity, because we have then the 9 of Swords further clarified by the 7 of Cups and the 8 of Swords. There's something here around a lack of clarity, especially with the 9 of Swords and the 8 of Swords coming up. There's this element of worry. This is your final challenge. Well, what if I go and I do all of this and it doesn't work out? What if I go towards this new opportunity, or I really lean in to following this dream? And with the 7 of Cups, there's this element of almost kind of getting trapped in that worry of, well, there's so many options out there, and which one is mine? And it's saying you have the Ace of Cups. It doesn't matter if you walk out into the kind of almost like a minefield of opportunity. It's that you have your cup already, the cup of the love for yourself, the cup of the love of the needs and the dreams that you need to have met, and the love that you can actually share with others as well. This is overflowing. This is a cup that is overfloweth, and you have the ability to kind of never endingly pour from this into what you want to create. So it's not so much as to, am I going to have to kind of over pour in all of these options? It's just saying, hold your cup firm and know that this emotional tie that you're, kind of this emotional sustainability you're allowing for yourself to kind of come to be is going to allow you to walk through all these opportunities and know that the right one will come to you. This is kind of like, I'm seeing this linking directly to the Eight of Cups over here, that there's this element of realizing I don't have to stay tied to something that doesn't emotionally fulfill me anymore, because I have a cup that I can then pour again into something new. I don't have to worry that I won't have enough energy or enough emotional energy again. It's that I know that there is more out there for me. And the Eight of Swords coming in at the end here, this is a card where I like to look at this as kind of like the negative programming that we have created for ourselves in our mental space to prevent us from being able to actually admit to ourselves, this is the way forward. This is what I have to walk away from, or this is what I need to do to make this come into be. That we kind of create these barriers in our mind where we say, well, we can't, we kind of go through like almost like the same path that we've created by all these thoughts of like, but I can't do that because of this, but I can't do that because of that, but I can't do that because I would lose my audience, or I can't do that because we've never had enough money to do that, or we can't do that because I've dedicated 25 years of my life to this. And so there's almost like there's always going to be that one block you get to, and then you have to go back to the start of the game and do it all again. And then you get to that one block, and then you have to go back and do it all again. And so this is that feeling of realizing, or this moment of realization with the Six of Swords coming in, that you don't have to be stuck in that anymore. That whatever that block is that you've kind of like, when you get to that point, you tell yourself, no, it's never going to happen. I have to go back. That's that point where now it's time to reprogram, to say, I'm going to push through that block this month. That if it's something around a lack of abundance, or if it's something around, but I've committed so much time and energy to this, or if it's something around, but my partner might not support me, this is that beautiful time to actually push through that block, to understand that the Wheel of Fortune is moving in your favor, and you're being asked to now transcend that limitation. That's what you're learning about and unlocking for yourself this month, is transcending a limitation that you have long been held back from in the mental space, to allow you to actually emotionally move on from something and communicate in that way, or allow somebody else to communicate and spark this whole process of movement. And I love the Wheel of Fortune and the Ace of Cups. In fact, I love these three cards here together, really showing a change, really showing a sustainable change, showing the change towards the new, and the opportunity for all kinds of emotional connection to come in here. Okay, I love this. All right, I'm going to pull some clarifiers. Jump in here. I'm actually going to pull a clarifier to take a look at what that Ace of Pentacles is. What is that opportunity that you are kind of holding in your hand as you're reconnecting to a dream or a need of your own? Nine of Wands. Interesting. That came out in the identical place for Libra as well in the last reading I did. So for some of you, there is something here around this kind of a little bit of a burnout. You know, there's this feeling of like, my goodness, I've been going for so long towards something. Do I want to keep going? And in this case, I'd say, yeah. I'm going to pull one more card. Or actually, I guess two more cards. Ooh, we have the Magician and the Knight of Coins. Yeah. Confirmation. Keep going. Keep going with a steady eye for the future. I like here that there's a very similar, you see the individual you're holding, just like holding the coin here in the hand. There's something very precious about this opportunity, and it needs to be honored. The Knight of Pentacles honors his pentacle by having a forward vision, by creating the step by step, by understanding that anything worth growing is going to take time to do that. And he's going to put in the effort to set up the structure to allow for this to grow. And with the Magician coming in, this is that beautiful realization of all of the things you have at your disposal that you can bring in to help create the structure. You have the ability to tap into your emotions, into the physical, what you have around you. You have your ability to tap into your passion and use that. And you have your ability to tap into truth, clarity, tie that into this new opportunity. And this is really saying, keep going. You're just one step away from closing out a major cycle and from allowing yourself to bring this new opportunity into being. Okay, so let's take a look at the Five of Wands. So, here's the wrong card in this deck. Interesting. And it's the Ace of Swords. Wow, that is very strange. Well, I'm going to keep that out here. It's like a outlier. Interesting. Okay, so you officially have all of the aces, even one that snuck in out of another deck, which is very weird. Okay. So 5 of Wands. So that shows to me that there's almost like a hidden truth here, that there's something that's almost like masquerading, I think, for some of you, that you're trying to hide it from yourself. I don't see the 7 of Swords here, but there's an element of perhaps with the 6 of Swords and this kind of coming in covertly as it did, that for some of you, there's a not wanting to see a clarity around what you have to walk away from, a clarity around what you want to create. There's a clarity, I think, that's coming through that this peace of mind has given you, has shown you, but you don't want to admit it. Okay, 9 of Coins and King of Swords. So there's your energy again, Aquarius. With the 9 of Coins, it's kind of, there's a level of independence, but it's also a level of you're in a comfort zone. And I think for some of you with the Knight of Swords coming in here, there's this element of really standing in that truth of realizing where you've been in a comfort zone for a while and where now it's time to kind of leave the nest, where it's time to kind of jump out into the fray and into maybe the real world again. It is like leaving the nest and realizing there's a whole big world beyond that. But you're also stepping into the best part of your own energy is this understanding of how to wield your truth, how to wield that, being able to look at everything as it is with a truthful element, and then being able to clearly say, okay, yeah, this is where I've been holding myself back. Now with Temperance here, we have the 5 of Coins, the Hermit, and the Star. Star again, your energy. And I thought for sure the 5 of Coins was going to come in. So the 5 of Coins is a card of kind of that true lack mentality. It's, well, what if I go out and do this and I don't have enough? Or I'm left out in the cold. No one sees my idea. No one understands what I want to do. I put time and effort into something new, or I walk away from something I've been working in. And what if I find myself unable to support myself, or people again turn their back on where they once supported me? And with the Hermit and the Star, this is asking you to really go within, to understand the magic that you bring to every situation, and to understand that light. I like that the Hermit and the Star are here together because they're the one half of the same coin, meaning that the star, we see the star as kind of our guiding principle, or kind of North Star. We see it as that thing that we want to achieve, and it's kind of like always outside of ourselves. Like we can look up to it and kind of recalibrate ourselves. But the Hermit is the realization that star actually does not lie external to us. It lies within ourselves, and it comes through us connecting to our own inner light, to the star that, yes, we see it at once outside of ourselves, but at the same time, it is within. We don't dream a dream or have a deep need that needs to be fulfilled that doesn't come first from something within ourselves. So keep that in mind. There is something here about connecting to the dream within yourself and your ability to shine that light and to make the dream come from just who you are. And that's what's going to help you really temper, I think, for some of you, that fear around a lack of stability, the fear around a lack of being able to, really meet your own needs, and understand that the magic that comes when we understand what we uniquely bring to a situation and what we uniquely need to have fulfilled, that is what allows us to transcend those physical limitations where we're like, you know what? I can't stay here anymore. I can't stay here anymore because it's not allowing me to fulfill something that is so deep within myself that now it is like shining through the cracks of who I am. And I need to have it expressed. And that's what allows you to tap into the Wheel of Fortune energy here. So let me go ahead and pull some cards for the Wheel of Fortune. Page of Coins. Oh, I like that. Going out with kind of a beginner's mindset with your coin. Going out there to see what it can do. Having fun with it. This would be like having that idea and realizing, or like having that little bit of seed money and saying, I'm going to, yes, have a forward eye for the future, but I'm also going to go out there and, I'm going to try my boat out on the on the open river, and I'm going to get excited to see what I can see. And there's the Ace of Wands in the fountain. Beautiful. Wow. So that's just a reconnection to your passion here. This is kind of going out there with that spark alive within you, going out ready for the adventure. And the Fountain card is unique to this tarot. And to me, it always speaks to that scene from 2001 Space Odyssey, where at the very end, there's that kind of trippy scene where they're going through whatever it is, the wormhole, the space portal, and it's almost like being able to tap into true universal knowledge where everything and nothing exists at the same time. And I'm getting this feeling almost like this portal coming through here for you guys with this Wheel of Fortune, that if you can go out with this fun kind of beginner's mindset of like, let me see where I can go with this. Let me see what I can do. Let me get excited about as I push my boat into the stream. I can't wait to see who I'm going to meet. I can't wait to see the sights that I'm going to see. And I'm going to keep that flame burning within myself, because that's what's going to allow me to tap into this cosmic element of what do I want to pull from this experience. There's this, I feel like this month could be a true portal for you guys to really be able to pull into your experience the great adventure. That's what I'm feeling here. It's like the great adventure, an adventure where it's time for you to say, I'm cutting ties, guys. I'm going to go backpack through Europe for a year, or I don't know how I'm going to do it. I saved maybe 10K over the last year, and I'm just going to do it and see how far I can go. It's almost something like that. It's almost like just saying, I'm going to see how far I can go. Got to walk away from something, guys, but I'll see you on the other side. There's a lot of faith coming in here too that I feel, especially in leaving a comfort zone. Okay, so we have Death with the Ace of Cups. Oh, and the Ten of Cups upside down. Interesting. That's a really interesting thing to come out like that. I don't normally put reversals in my deck. There is, with the Ten of Cups coming in reversed and also face down on the table, I think for some of you, you're putting to rest a dream, a Ten of Cups dream that never came to fulfillment. And it's a hard thing for me to explain, but let me try. So there's this feeling here of putting to rest. Perhaps there might have been a past marriage, or a past career setting, or a past family and friend connection that you had, wanted to have realized, and you had put time and energy and effort. Eight of Cups. and it didn't work out. You never realized the 10 of Cups. You never realized the ultimate fulfillment of the dream that you were working towards. And it's time now to put that to rest. That in this reconnection to this overflowing cup of love, literally from the divine, and the love, the unconditional love for yourself that you can also bring to every encounter from this point forward, there is this beautiful element of truly making peace with the past, but also letting a past failed attempt go. Leaving room for the new. You're starting with the 1 cup. It's almost like with this 10 of Cups reversed. It's like you had 10 cups filled. They flipped over. You were emotionally depleted, I think, for quite some time. And now it's time to start with the remembrance that you're never emotionally depleted. That love that comes from the divine, it can never be depleted. You can, sometimes we forget to see it. Just like with the Ace of Wands, our fire never goes out, but sometimes it gets real small. And we don't see it or feel it in the way that we do when we are aware of the fact that we are always working with our own unique passion. Same thing with the Ace of Cups. When we remember that we are always loved, when we remember that we can always love, and that love can never be depleted. We can always go back to spirit. We can always go back to the appreciation for ourself and our emotional experience. And we can always find more to give, find more ways to feel, find more ways to love. And I think for some of you, that's the true realization in this whole experience is, no, I can love life and no one's ever going to deplete me again. Or I'm never going to lose sight that I always have a full emotional cup to pull from. Okay, so we have the Devil coming in for the 9 of Swords. I figured the Devil was going to come in because I did see it in the other deck. This is where you've been holding yourself back through, I think, overthinking and through a kind of pre-programmed mindset of, I can't go there. It's like almost like every time you get to that door and you assume it's locked, so you don't even try the handle anymore. And this is that beautiful moment where you could just say, I'm going to just try the handle and see. And maybe that door isn't actually locked. It's one of those things, or where maybe it is locked, but it's time for me to figure out how to break that lock. Let's see if anything else wants to come out there. 8 of Coins and 10 of Wands. Okay, yeah. There's something about holding steadfast. And again, the 8 of Coins also came up when I saw that kind of flip over with the previous deck. So those were meant to come out for you guys. I think for some of you, there's been an element where you feel that if you keep focused on something and you have to put in the dedicated time and energy, 8 of Pentacles, that it's a burden that you have to carry. This is like kind of like I have to do it all alone. I have to put in all the energy myself. And that's where we get stuck in the energy of the Devil, of I have to do it all myself. So is it even worth it for me to kind of dig in here and keep going? Is it worth it for me to create the plan and to move forward? Is it worth it for me to leave something knowing that I have to put the time and energy and dedication into creating this new opportunity for myself? Because it might get to be too heavy for me. And this is saying, this is the realization when we get to leave, when we get to let go of something like this, the 10 of Cups reversed. When we get to remember that we are surrounded by everybody who has their own Ace of Cups, that we get to go out into a world filled with others who want to share in the journey with us. And when we move towards the 8 of Coins and we start to really sit there and kind of put one foot in front of the other to make something happen, there are other people there that can carry the load with us. And in fact, I love that the 10 of Wands came up, because the 10 of Wands, although it does denote carrying a heavy burden, it's also the end of a cycle. And you get to go back. The next card is the Ace of Wands. You get to go back to your 1 wand to your inspiration, not the inspiration that is overburdened by everybody else's inspirations or all the actions that you have to take. It's just getting back to the start for this new adventure. So there is something here about really kind of like dropping your own burdens. Yeah, you're going to have to put in dedicated time and energy to make anything work in this life. Even if you wanted to go backpacking through Europe, you're still going to have to, get on the flight app and book your flight. And you might actually have to research, do I need a visa to be in this country or that country? You have to do a little bit of the planning. You might not see the full picture, but as you can see, as this individual is just working on each piece, the image comes in to be. And that's kind of all you need to keep your eyes focused on, is just kind of working towards this great adventure. But doing so from a place that lightens your load. Releasing, this can also be too, you might be held back by something you have worked on for a long time. This can be where you're like, but I worked on getting to this place with my significant other. I worked on building this home and decorating it and making sure it was a great place for my friends and family to come. But now in the maintenance of it, it's just a burden. I don't need it anymore. I don't want it. I used to love it, but I don't. But I can't move away from it, because who am I without this house? Or what am I going to tell my significant other when I say I want to have that condo on the beach? What if we don't have the money to do that? What if we can't sell the home for what it's worth? This can also be where maybe you've been so you were building a business for so long and you had your head down and you were just doing it and doing it and doing it. But now you don't care for that business anymore. And that's okay. You've grown. You've transcended something mentally for yourself. That's what happens when we grow spiritually. And sometimes we get fearful when that happens, because we think, well, what are other people going to think about us? That they're going to look at me and say, well, you're just, wishy-washy, and look at you. You put all this time and energy in something and you're just walking away from it. But you're a different person now inside. And it's time for you to go on the next great adventure. Yeah, maybe you did build a successful business, and that's wonderful. And you can sit there and realize that. But it's time now to push forward, to say, I see a new way for myself. I see a new opportunity. And yeah, I can walk away from this. I don't have to be chained. The devil shows us where we have chained ourselves to something, to some expectation, not where someone else has chained us. It's an illusion that we are being held back by something external to us. It's actually our own internal self that holds us hostage. It's us telling ourselves, but that door is locked. And then us realizing, but we've never tried the handle. So let's go ahead and pull final 3 cards here for the concept of curiosity, courage, and contemplation. This is additional advice from Spirit. So this first card here for curiosity is where Spirit would like you to stay open and receptive for the month of August. Stay curious. Kind of figured this card was going to come out. So the walking away card, similar to the 9 of coins. This is very much, and funny thing too is that the number 27 breaks down to the number 9. So it's the ending of a cycle. It's time for you to walk away from something. And yeah, it's scary. But what I love about this card is that yes, she's leaving the gates, which probably denote some beautiful place that she has created for herself. But on the other side is a magic flying butterfly, and there's like a glowing around her, and there's this energy of understanding that your power, what you discovered about yourself, the glowing star within you that needs to be expressed, is only going to be activated when you walk away fully from something that no longer serves you. And it's time. So be curious about where is that place you feel that you need to walk away from, but you're too afraid to do it out of a place of lack, out of a place of I won't have enough, it won't happen, I won't have the support. And really let Spirit guide you into a place of mental peace to allow you to see the clarity as to what door handle do you need to try again and open. And that's going to be the way to kind of break through. Okay, so now I'm going to pull a card here for the concept of courage, and we're going to go ahead and see where Spirit would like you to be courageous in taking action this month. What does Aquarius need to know about where to be courageous in taking action? Okay, so we have surrender the habit of people pleasing. I love this. It's very good for you, Aquarius, because you are a sign that can help teach all of the other signs how to not be in the habit of people pleasing, how to really shine from that kind of, let your freak out, so to speak. You are the true sign that harnesses the power of the individual. And says, speak your needs and be true to yourself. Focus on your own happiness instead of always trying to make everyone else happy. And I think this really does tie directly to kind of what you've changed yourself to a little bit here. Of like, but what are people going to think? What is my significant other going to think? What is my boss going to think? What is anybody, what if no one understands why I want to go on a backpacking trip for a year? Why if no one understands if I want to walk away from this place of business? It says this is where you need to get the courage. You're living your life. And yes, your life does touch the lives of others, but ultimately only you can live your life. And we never know how long our current life experience is going to be. And at this point, you're entering a new phase. The current is going in your favor. And if you want the next adventure, everything is ready for that. And it just takes the courage to realize it's time to step up into your individuality again. That's where the true inspiration is going to come from. That's where the opportunity is going to come from. That's where the love for yourself and others is going to come from. All right. There's this true feeling of liberation for you guys, Aquarius. And I know that it's been coming through a lot for everybody, but there's this feeling of liberation on a higher level, on this level of just kind of throwing off a cloak that you've been hiding under for some time. And I think for some of you, you might not have even realized you were doing it. This can be the cloak of hiding under, well, I'm a doctor and I will always be a doctor. So I have to keep working at being a doctor, even though my dream is to own a bakery, or this is hiding under the cloak of I'm a family person and I take care of the house and this is what I do, even though I'm not happy anymore. Okay, so we have the ever unfolding. So these cards are for your point of contemplation. This is where Spirit would like you to reflect on for the month to kind of ground this message for yourself. So we have the ever unfolding rose, cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. And then we have soul family, call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. And play, have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. And that's exactly this sums up exactly what I'm feeling for you guys. There's this element here of going out into the great wide world, leaving a comfort zone, starting the next adventure, but getting excited about, again, who you're going to meet, what you're going to see. And to realize that the changes that you're feeling now, whether the changes are coming from someone externally making an announcement or whether this is your announcement and the clarity that comes from that it's happening for you, not to you. This isn't, why am I stuck here, forced to have to walk away from something? Why am I sitting with this idea that I can't let go of? It's saying, no, this is actually helping you get to that door that you've needed to walk through for a long time. And it's about having fun while you're doing it. It doesn't need to be heavy. It doesn't need to be like, it needs to be expressed from a place of joyful optimism and enthusiasm, really embracing, would you be sad for this person who's walking away? You'd be like, whoa, good for you. Like, get on with your bad glowing self over there. There's this element of like, being excited. It's like being a parent, being excited to watch your child kind of leave the nest as their own individual self and to say, wow, look at how far this individual has grown and come. And I can't wait to see how much farther they're going to come. And that's kind of what you need to realize for yourself. Along with, if get into that energy that others will support you as well in that others will say, we've seen you kind of struggle with that for a long time. We're excited that you're letting that go, and we can't wait to see what is the new for you. And maybe they want to join you on that adventure. Okay, so you got 3 pieces of additional information that I was getting for walking away here. We have koala spirit. Spirit has a plan, number 35, breaking down to number 8. We have moth spirit, surrender now, number 39, breaking down to a 12, which for me is always divine timing. And then we have badger spirit, be fearless and bold, number 4. I love that. The building of new foundations. So yeah, spirit has a plan. It's time to surrender, and it's time to be fearless and bold as you go out on this next adventure. I know it's hard to surrender at the same time as being fearless and bold, but there's this element of just, again, making peace, allowing yourself to get to that place of this is what's happening. And it's time. It's time for the next adventure. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull your final card here to take a look at the overarching spiritual lesson you're learning about yourself this month, and I'll read the full excerpt from the book that comes with this oracle deck. All right, what does Aquarius need to know about their spiritual lesson for this month? What does Aquarius need to know? There we go. We got 2. Let's see what they are here. We have spiritual service, number 21, breaking down to a 3. I love that. And we have key of light, number 26, breaking down to an 8. So the 8 really speaks to personal empowerment, empowered leadership, also physical abundance. The number 3 is really harnessing that energy of creativity, of being seen, but also greeting life with the innocence and optimism of a child, which I always enjoy. Okay, so we have spiritual service. It says, self-doubt can be a habit that is hard to break. It can slow down your spiritual progress and the fulfillment of your life purpose. Ultimately, it won't stop you, but it can make your progress seem more challenging. It's easier to fulfill your purpose when you acknowledge your own goodness and talent and do what you love to the best of your ability. Realize that you are enough, that your work is good, and that you have something of value to offer. It is time to let go of fear of failure, concern about your ability, and your right to live a happy and fulfilled life of success. The universe believes in you. You are being called to service beyond that which you have accomplished thus far. That is because you are ready, capable, and willing to step up to another level of spiritual responsibility and freedom. Your mind, however, may question your ability. You may be afraid that you cannot perform well enough, that you are not skilled or experienced enough, that you are not as good as others, or that you do not have enough value to offer. These are nothing more than wounded beliefs about your self-worth. It is time to recognize this wounding and not empower these beliefs as truths anymore. Be kind to your mind. It will be happier without such beliefs. You can free yourself from the pain they cause and become more realistic about your gifts and your potential. Now it is time for you to trust love more than your wounds. As you release these old beliefs, you create more space within you to receive impressions of how you can most joyfully serve the greater good. No longer hampered by undermining and draining beliefs and self-doubt, you will have more energy to act on your intuition and guidance. If at any time you find yourself blocked by fear or performance anxiety, it can be helpful to release these blocks by simply asking yourself how you could best serve the greater good at this time. The answer to this question will never be to shrink back in fear. It will always be to choose belief over doubt. It will be to move ahead, to take the opportunity offered to you as a vote of confidence from the universe. This realization will bring you peace of mind so you can resume your progress and share what you have with the world. If you have been working hard, taking the opportunities that have come to you and are still feeling as though you are not quite where you wish to be in terms of fulfilling your life purpose and divine destiny, you are now asked to acknowledge all that you have attained so far. Acknowledge all the people you have assisted in your own special way, all the positive influence of love that you have added to the collective human soul through your willingness to take your spiritual journey, open your heart, and care about life on earth. Your spiritual service has been noticed by the spiritual world, and you will be empowered to serve in increasingly beautiful ways. Your service is already successful and will only increase in potency, power, and peace. Beautiful. Okay, number 26, Key of Light. It says, Archangel Michael loves you unconditionally and serves your soul journey. He brings you a spiritual gift now, the Key of Light. This key allows you to open any door, clear away any obstruction, and free yourself from any prison or enslavement. Physical. I can't get over how much this is aligning with my door analogy for you guys. So you're being given the key. It's not that you have to worry about breaking through the door. You're being given the key to the door you want to open. Okay, so clear away any obstruction and free yourself from any prison or enslavement, physical, emotional, or psychological. There is no need for you to feel trapped or locked out of a situation you want to get into. You now hold within your hands a divine key that will assist you in many ways. Archangel Michael has a message for you. You have the power of the divine in you. You have the ability to free yourself, no matter whether it seems that another person, a set of circumstances, or the entire world holds more power than you. Your power of freedom is unconditional. It doesn't require that outer circumstances change in order for you to be free. Though as you choose freedom, outer circumstances often change radically. And that's what this is. This is that transcendence, that freedom on a mental level first. For now, to be free, use the key of light. This means staying true to what you know for yourself. Gently and lovingly assert your truth now. Do not cave into naysayers and fear generators. Most especially, do not collapse under your own old fears or doubts. Gently and persistently cleaving to the light within will bring you through any apparent obstacle, free you from any apparent prison, and ensure your divine destiny is fulfilled. All doors shall be open to you. You are being given a gift of unconditional grace. Step back and radiate love from your center. That is your way. You do not have to betray your spirituality to fight. You can fight with love and trust, and that can be your way as a spiritual warrior. In each moment you choose love and trust, you are fighting the good fight. You are learning that love is expressed in no as much as in yes. For when you fight against those who want you to deny the truth, you are standing clear and strong in loving truth. Michael helps you realize the strength that you already have within you to do this. This oracle is a message for you to trust in your own ability to triumph right now. You are the key to success. You must believe in yourself. You don't have to force a door to open. In perfect time, according to divine grace, all doors will open for you. Your dreams and actions will prove themselves in time. No person, place, or thing has any power to hold you back. The key of light is spiritual permission from the universe to succeed in your life mission. You shall not be kept back from your divine destiny. You shall be empowered to succeed. Refuse to give up on your dreams. This may mean freeing yourself from situations or relationships that have enslaved or controlled you. When you are ready, this can be done with great gentleness, compassion, and strength. Free yourself with love, not fear. You may need to lock doors to the past behind you. With divine empowerment, you can completely and utterly allow the past to be over. And that's the death of the Ten of Cups over here. You will find that new doors can then be unlocked for you. Beautiful. I think that sums up this entire reading for you very succinctly. All right, Aquarius, I'm going to leave it here. I hope you all have a wonderfully transcendent and freeing month of August. I hope you all are excited for your next adventure. If you'd like to book a personal reading or just learn more about me and the services I offer, you can click on the link in the description box below to visit my website. Otherwise, I will see you all for your next illumination in September. Bye, Aquarius.